Hello everybody, and welcome to another tutorial here on NoiseJunkies.net. Finally! Well, here I have for you guys a very simple but cool After Effects tutorial. First of all, two reasons why I'm doing this tutorial. Number one, it's been a while since I don't do a tutorial and I really wanted to do something so you guys wouldn't be, empty-handed for so long. And second, I got a new camera, the Canon Rebel T2i EOS, also known as 550, and it shoots some pretty cool footage. This one I shot at 1080 pixels in a very rainy day, and pretty much the idea behind this tutorial is to use different layers that I filmed and compose a rainy scene. So let's take a look at what we have in here. Enough, although I can never get enough of that. Rains a lot in here. Anyways, that's the outcome. A pretty cool rain composition. Not a lot of rocket science in here, but again, I just really wanted to make a tutorial there. So let's get started. It's a very simple task that we're going to be creating here, but let's do it. So the first thing is create a new project, and actually I'll create a new comp instead. Okay, new composition. I just kind of got CS5. I'm still a little bit. Alright, there we go. Yeah, I was a little bit lost in the interface, as you guys could notice. I just kind of came to window here and just showed all panels. Anyways, let's start by creating a new composition here. Actually, I already did comp1. Okay, and we'll import the first footage, which I believe is this one. So bring it to a table. As you can see, it's a pretty long footage, more than 20 seconds, and really, I could choose any portion because it's great footage, really. But for the tutorial, I kind of chose those last seconds in here. I just picked 4 of those seconds right now, and then I'll kind of trim that. So now we have, just like 4 seconds to work with. I also put like half a resolution. It's 2 HD. I love bragging about my camera. And you guys probably know what we're supposed to do right now. If you don't, we're gonna be motion tracking. Now there's a incredible array of tutorials, covering motion tracking. So I'm not gonna go too in depth about it, but I'm gonna kind of show how you do it at least. So we'll create a layer and then a null object. And for those who never watched a tutorial involving motion tracking, null object really is nothing. It's just this kind of square in here, and it's just like a bank or like a bag, let's say, and it's gonna store information inside the bag. So we need to tell that null object what it's going to be storing, and in this case we're gonna be storing the movement of our footage. So if the footage is going left, then our null object is going left too. Eventually, we're going to be linking everything to the null object, like the other layers and the raindrops, so that everything moves to the left and it looks like it's synced with the footage. So we'll go to the tracker here and click on the source, and then you have the track and stabilize motion. We're going to click on track motion, and then you can select position, rotation, scale. I'm going to select position, rotation because I didn't really zoom in or zoom out, so there's no reason to check scale. But I do rotate a little bit and change the position a little bit. So here we have the 2 tracking points, and I don't want to mess where they are exactly, but I'm gonna create it a little wide like that, but not too wide because it's gonna be way too slow. And I learned that the trick in here with rainy footage, it's so foggy and blurry, that really the trick is to find a house or a building like the American Embassy in there. In this case, I think this spot here would be the best for the left. That should be. And then we have a much nicer and easier point, which is this. That's a really contrast point. Or some sort of red houses in here. That would work as well. Now make sure in frame 1. So I actually committed a mistake. Make sure in frame 1, and then you do it. Anyways, just kind of change here to the motion tracking workspace. So you should do that as well. And then in the analyze, we'll click on the forward button in here, and also make sure the target is the null object, and then you click on the play button and just slowly watch the process happening here. Good lord. Okay, so once you are done with the tracking data, once it tracks everything, we're gonna be clicking on apply and then clicking on OK for the X and Y, and that will give the tracking points for our null object. So anyways, couple things I did differently here, just so I let you know. That tracking we just did was fine, but I just thought I found just a better tracking, a more accurate tracking by tracking the trees in here. There's more contrast, so do that, and I ended up getting a much faster and most accurate tracking. The other point in here is fine. Anyways, and also made it a little bit shorter, or maybe I didn't. Yeah, I did. I made it a little bit shorter, so I'm also gonna trim that, just for the sake of the tutorial, really. Okay, so that's really the first part. Now we have our bank with all the information stored in there, and we're ready to start making whatever we want. So the first thing I'm going to be doing is importing this footage I have in here, and this footage is I pretty much just kind of filmed a window, and then I want to set the transparency to something like, I don't know, 36 or something. Now that's almost perfect, but now we're gonna hit P to bring the position of the null, and P to bring the position of that movie, and then we'll alt click on the position and link it to the position of the null, and now it's pretty much following with the same movement as the footage, and looking at like it's actually part of it. Now there's some really fun things, as I said, that look very organic, but that's really what brings life to the animation. Those black spots in here, it's kind of like mud and other organic things that fall on the window with the rain. And also that footage I filmed has its own movement, so it's almost like we're moving, but also there's motion in the movement, so it's very organic, very cool. Another thing I want to add in here is something from Action Essentials from Video Copilot, which is those like raindrops in the window. So I'll just kind of scale them up a little bit like that, and again link it by alt click on the position to the null position. So we have so many like different layers of motion, and it really makes everything very interesting and organic and cool. We're also gonna add a new adjustment layer and color corrector. Now there's many things you can do for color correction here. I would encourage a hue and saturation. I'll just make it a little bit darker and a little bluish. Not really blue, but more grayish, just to be depressing like rain. And now really we'll just play with the final thing, which is the blur. So I'm going to the effects in here and get the blur, and then apply fast blur to the footage and to the raindrops in the window. And then I'll set the blurriness, the initial blurriness for the footage, to something like 52. But then in second 2 we'll set it to 2. And then in the raindrops we'll do something a little opposite, right? We'll start at 2, at 0 I mean, and then blur it up to 40 or something. So it has that initial motion to it. It's full resolution, that's why it's being laggy and stupid, but you can set it to have to see it faster. And that's it. That already takes care of creating a cool scene. Let's preview it. Alright, well that's the After Effects tutorial for today, and I hope I can make more frequent tutorials soon. I also have a Cinema 4D tutorial planned, and as you can see, I'll try to get into some real flow. I'm still learning it, but I'm sure it'll be good. And yeah, so you guys can definitely send suggestions, recommendations, and hopefully I'll be able to keep up on the pace. Alright guys, thanks for watching, and we'll see each other next time.